Social, ordained in December 1957. That's when I graduated from high school, Father. So he said, Mike, he says, oh boy, 1957. In appreciation for ministering to our church community as a priest of Jesus Christ. And that's from the Most Reverend Robert McElroy. So it doesn't get any better than that. We love you and God bless you. And would you do us the honor, Father Knight, in the opening prayer? Nostalgia. But today we worked on a meal that is going to be like coming to a Sicilian home. One of the pastas that only he and a couple of other people make is called pasta al forno, the oven. And whatever you have, in a way, if you had some good eggs left over, if you had something nice from one of the meals, you cooked up your pasta, you added some goodies, and you put it Dottore Santucci, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. And you put it into the oven and it becomes a feast. And when you're eating alone, it's a meal. And when you're eating with a friend that comes over, and if you're lucky enough to get the parish priest over, then it's a banquet. It's something special. So Giuseppe, he's back there. He says, I don't want to be out much because I'm in my work clothes. God bless you for working with us. But let me tell you, that pasta is, I'm looking forward to it. But then we couldn't make it to mine. So he called me up and he said, Jimmy, you're doing too much already. You're cooking other things. I want to do the scampi. I like the way you do it, but let me do the scampi. I said, okay. So we fought over who's going to do what. So he also did the scampi for us. I did the sausage because I have my way of doing it, and with the peppers and everything, and it's nice. We also have the Alfredo sauce, but Giuseppe made sure we went to it. He said, don't buy that Parmesan cheap stuff you get there. I don't want you to serve it alongside of my dish. Unless we go to the restaurant depot and get the fresh ground Parmesan from Italy, the expensive stuff. So I stepped up and we did it. So we're going to have the scampi, and the meatballs. Oh, you're going to love them. We made many meatballs, so we got a wonderful meal for you. The salad is great. Giuseppe with one arm, and I'm helping him. And we went to Restaurant Depot, and then we went to our Italian delis, and we picked this up. And I hope you enjoy it. It's served with love. It's served with something you can't get in just the average place. So let's eat, and then I have some awards, and I hope you stay with us because we're so blessed to have you attending our meeting tonight. God bless. And first of all, I think it's only right that Father Louis and Sir Per Knight, Dottore Francesco Santucci, 92 years old, and I'm going to bless the night. There you are. If you'll lead us, and with anybody that's with you, go with you. And Father, and our beautiful 92-year-old Dottore, our newest member to this council. And the honor guard is waiting to have you start to put up. And we knew we better make it really good because this gentleman was raised on the good Italian food, so we can't make him. That's for sure. That's for sure. Certo, signore. Che bello. Grazie.
The people saying they told me it's $5. As long as you have a card.
I want to tell you guys, Susie,
You can load that up with the
I am so proud of Giuseppe.
trolley stuff.
I used to go down to the Paradiso.
Station, like the street card is one side.
Approaching 80,
Actually, you can.
and I just said, no, I'm going to be one of the guys that helps you carry the down. We're watching down. Coming up about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, coming up the back road.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
I wouldn't say it was faltering, but it was really hot. And I was kind of going like this. Giuseppe stood behind me. He knew right next to me, and he kind of held me up. And then he said, are you too proud to admit that you're a little tired? I said, yeah, I'm too proud to admit that. Father Louis, and he was still walking it before we put him in the car. And he said, Jimmy, yeah, I said, if Father Louis can walk this procession still, I'm going to walk it. He said, well, you're wavering. And I said, you're right. And I stepped over, and he did it. And ever since then, he said, if there's anything I can do for the church or the parish, let me know. Everywhere we went, his been Giuseppe. So Giuseppe said, I'm going through a couple of things at work, and things are a little tough. I could sure use some friends and some fellowship. And I said, well, how about joining the nights? He said, will you take advantage of me and put me to work and let me do things? I said, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, and Jerry's here in the Doctor and Father Louis, I don't know of another guy that went as fast as he did. And John is probably one of the winners. He got into his first, second, third, fourth week, went boom, boom, boom. But it took us a year to get it done, over almost a full year or more. But we wanted Giuseppe because, stand up, John. Here's a full-figured giant of a man. He says, leave the grand knight alone. Leave the priests alone. They don't mess with him. So I said, we need to have bookends. So I said, Giuseppe, we got to do it. We got to get it quickly. So Jerry said, well, if we really work hard, we can get him. So we got him the first degree. Then he said, well, I don't know if I can get up the second degree. Got in the car and drove him up to the second. Then the second and third together. We did it the same night, didn't we? Yeah, same night. Then it was coming up for a fourth degree, and he says, well, I don't know if I'm ready. I said, you're ready. And we ran it up, got in fourth degree, and then Jerry K walked up and he said, you know, you're really great. How about the color core? We can get you pitted up and get you going. So here's a man in less than 8 months. I think that's got to be pretty much of a record, isn't it, Jerry? Less than 5 months. 5 months from first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree, and color guard. So, follow nice. Now, I'd like to just introduce a couple of people. And I'd like to have Patrizia come up before we go on because we want to thank you for allowing us. And would you please come up as the president of the ICF for a minute? And thank you for letting the Knights participate. And if I can brag about one of our Knights, she did a fabulous, fabulous event. And when she gets done saying something, I'll say it about Jamie. I had a tea set that I tried to buy for $400. And Jamie says, no, I want it to go to the ICF for all the great things you do. I'm going to put it into the raffle. So we put it into the raffle, and it was a Venetian 1960s 22-karat gold ruby glass, not a mark on it, $600, $700 set. So thank you, because that really made the raffle. And that's one of our Knights. That's Jamie.
Well, my name is Patrizia Vigili, and I am the ICF president this year. And I wanted to say something in regard to the Knights because of how much they have done to support not only the hospitality cafe that does the coffee and donuts every Sunday, but also for the ICF, which of course is the Italian Catholic Federation. And whenever we need something, if we need some help, if we need somebody to lift something or set up tables, they are always there, and we don't have to hunt for them. They offer their services. John Boyce, Jamie Steidel were there on this past Sunday for our annual pancake breakfast, cooking and cleaning and lifting and helping us out a lot, and I can't thank you enough. And Jim, of course, naturally, your president was absolutely wonderful in helping us to earn all the money and stuff that we needed for the ICF Scholarship Fund. So thank you, Knights.
And one of the things that we're going to be doing, the Knights is going to be doing, we're going to be doing a talent show because we have a lot of talent, we have cooking, we have people, and Patrizia is also a singer, and Jimmy and I are going to get together and do a couple of things together. Maybe not tonight, some other time. And we're going to have fun, and we're going to do it. Use the talent. We have accordion players, mandolin players, piano players, and we're going to do a theater night. I'm running by Father, and we're going to find something that we want to raise the money for the parish. And then we're going to have a dinner, and Giuseppe and I will have a full service, table service with the youth and the Knights. And we're probably only going to be able to have theater style. We're going to get round tables instead of the long ones. Set it up beautifully. And I think we're going to close it off at 150 or 160 people. But it's going to be una notte di amore in modo mio. It's just one that I used to do with the cruise ships and things. A night of love my way. And it's going to be in the way of Paris, and it's going to be beautiful. So we'll tell you more about it. And Patrizia is going to be one of our lead singers in that. Well, right now I'd just like to talk about a couple of gentlemen that are friends of mine for a long time. Sean, I never could understand, and maybe he'll come up, and then I'm going to bring up my other one. Richard, I met him, basically I met Richard through his father, who's a beautiful man that I used to sit in Little Italy and have coffee with. But Sean, everybody knows Sean. Sean is, I don't know why he hasn't gone into the priesthood. He keeps going back home and helping people. And someone introduced him one to you, and it's Rossetto? Rossetto? That's Italiano. Yeah. Is it, yeah? So you're, oh, bello. I always knew that we had a little bit of the Morenos in our family back in Sicily somewhere. But anyhow, you see him on the altar in the service. He is a beautiful, beautiful gentleman. And we've talked many times, and I said, Sean, I would really love to have you come over and join an ounce with us. And he said, Jimmy, I've been waiting 2 years for you to ask. So Sean, thank you. And I finally got up the courage to ask him because he's so busy. And God bless you. He said I could announce tonight. He's going to fill out the application and do the process of coming in. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for all you do for the parish. And thank you for joining tonight. Tell us something about yourself. He's got a lot of fans in the parish.
Well, I'm Sean Rossetto. I guess you guys see me around. I help out when I can. Just give my iCat to the church and help out people.
Well, tell me how you went back home to help after you had that problem.
Yeah, I still do that.
You still done it? The earthquake or what was it?
No, no, I go home to Jamaica and I feed the poor and the homeless on the street. And I cook food for them and go and feed them. And get a lot of help. If I didn't put up with it.
And I'm sure that if you ask your fellow knights if you have a particular thing or something and you're feeding people and you need some help, we're a new council, we don't have a lot of money, but we have big hearts and we'll find something. And if you have a special need that needs to be happening in Jamaica with us, we're here for you too. Huh? God bless. And I look forward to calling your fellow knights in. And we're going to fast track you and get you up to the knights. Richard, would you please come up? If you want to get something done on your home or get something fixed, it's so hard to find a contractor. He'll come all the way down from Poway that's honest, that has integrity, and won't rip off a senior citizen because his dad says, Jimmy, that house of yours is nice, but get my boy over there to help you. But we're so happy to have you here. And he's met me and talked to me on several different occasions. He said, Jimmy, I'd like to come down. I like what you guys are doing at your council. And so he's going to start the process and come in too. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your dad too, a little bit.
My father and I have been coming down here since 1978 when I was a kid. So we've seen the neighborhood grow. I've attended the parish. I love Father Louis very much. He's always encouraged me to, at some point in time, to become a priest, but I didn't go that path. But I've always been down in the neighborhood, and I joined about 10 years ago up in Claremont, one of the churches. And just over the past 2-3 years, I've wanted to get back into the Knights. So when I heard that Jim was part of this and they were opening this up to new members, I decided to transfer my membership to become down back to Little Italy, where I feel that I should really be. So that's why I'm back down here now, and hopefully we can have a nice process.
Good, because I need him down here to help this poor senior citizen. I need some work on the house. So tell your dad hi for me, and we'll take it for going back. And I'll get your application, get it signed, your transfer, and we'll get to working together. Okay? Would my Deputy Grand Knight, would Brian please come up with me? And also, if we have color guard, whatever we have, John, if you want to help, we're going to get some photos. We're going to make some awards now. But we'll give you a few minutes and we'll start it out. Brian and I have been working, we share something in common. We both like to go to a little ristorante in South Park. We wouldn't think it's called La Buona Forchetta. Matteo's been helping me and giving me things. And we used to see there. And then Jason goes, and we walk over and I said, well, here's Jimmy and there's Martha. And we had a really good time there together. Brian has been spectacular helper for me, and also your son-in-law is Jason, right? Yeah. And Jason, they've been helping me. I'm not as good with the computers and stuff, but with guys like Jamie and Jason and Brian and Chris, I'm able to function. But I'm going to be happy and grateful to have served and be stepping back, but I'm not stepping away. I'm just stepping back and be doing behind the scenes and helping organize events and things, which I do. I'm not real good on the computers, but I'm learning.
Neither am I.
But right now, I'd like to call up another gentleman to help us. And I'd like to start off the awards, but like to bring Jamie up. He doesn't know it, but I think he's got a great voice. And then I didn't realize that we share a little of the Shakespeare, a little of the method acting, a little theater. He knows, and he knew how to pose. I noticed every time we were taking pictures, Jamie would do it, and he always had that great camera shot. So there you go. So that's brand new if you can't get it. I mean, that's method acting. This guy, this is the real deal. He doesn't have a bad bone in his body. He only has good things to say. He takes a negative, make it into a positive, and always finds something out. Now, I want to brag about something. Step aside, Jamie. Bring that, would our grand knights bring it? No, step aside so we can bring up the banner. Would you and Giuseppe bring our banner up? And I'm going to go get the certificate to be ready. We were sitting at a meeting, and we were just forming, and Peter Picorni was sitting there, and I was in the back, and I said, you know, guys, we may be new, but if we're going to get out there and go, all the Marian societies and the Madonna societies, the Italian Catholic Federation, the Adolorata, you name it, they all have a beautiful banner. I said, we need a banner, and it's something we do. And they said, well, we don't have the money right now. We've got, I think we had $160. We were just forming. And he said, but let's do a couple of fundraisers in 5 or 6 months and raise the money. And I said, no, we need a banner now. The banner will help us do it. So I came an idea, and I says to Jerry and a couple other guys, I said, well, what can a banner be? And I looked at all the banners, and they had the great little cross in the design of the Knights of Columbus on the back, and then it would tell you the council and everything was. And I said, well, can't we make it a little bit like the Marian societies or something? And Jerry said, yeah, as long as you follow the tradition and you do it. And we said, well, what do you have in mind? I said, well, we're Our Lady of the Rosary. What's wrong with having a beautiful Madonna? And then Father said, yeah, we were found by fishermen. That's the Blue Sea. And I said, hey, that's perfect. So Father weighed in at the Blue Sea. And then we said to Madonna, I said, well, wait a minute. Our Lady of the Rosary. We have to have a rosary on there. And Jimmy's looking at me and he says, wait a minute, you guys, I'll help you design it. You want a Madonna, you want blue, you want a rosary, you want this. I don't know. I try to, and still let people know that it's the Knights of Columbus. I said, yeah, that's what we want. So we drew this silly little sketch, and we all weighed in on it, and something got approved on it. We had a couple of weeks later, we had another meeting. Jimmy had this prototypes, and he said, is this what you guys have in mind? We looked at it, I think, to the man, except for one or two minor things, we said, that was it. We didn't quite have the rosary with the real beds. I think Jerry Kay or something came up with that. We had them kind of like pictured in with Jimmy's artwork. And then it would say, well, wait a minute, we could do beads. They said, no, the beads are going to be kind of expensive. How are you going to do a banner and get the beads on it? So Jerry, I believe it was Jerry, I hope I'm giving the right credit. And Jerry said, yeah, okay. He said, let me see if I can get somebody to do it. Maybe I'm prejudiced, but Jimmy, I never in my mind thought anybody could sit there with that, come back. I think it's the prettiest, finest banner in the Knights of Columbus councils in San Diego. And I say that without a doubt. Now, to back that up, Jimmy, I know it's pretty nice because I know of 4 other councils that got started, and our illustrious Jerry Casey, do you mind if I take your banner just kind of to show what can be done with the banner? So a lot of guys. So now he's going around and it's inspired other people to get the religion, to get the Madonna, to get the saints. If you got St. Patrick, St. Anthony, you can do it. And I think it's something that we started the tradition of getting that. So Jimmy, he is my awards guy helping me today. And he said, you know, I was happy to do that. Not only has Jimmy done that, but he's being honored tonight as one of our volunteers, not just by the Knights, but also by Father Joe. And Father, if you'd like to come up for a photo op too. I had you sign the beautiful proclamation. Now, little did Jamie know, I said, would you help me? And he says, well, there's a couple of guys, and he named the name, and I named the name. We make, for the work they do behind the scenes and help, and they don't get a lot of recognition. Maybe we could do a little certificate for them. And I said, I think that's a good idea, Jamie. Little did he know that the certificate he designed, when Father and I talked, and he says, you see him and hear him in the choir. He's came into the Italian Catholic Federation. He's on the Pastoral Council, as I remember. We're working together, that one together too, right?
Not as of this year.
Not of this year, okay. Well, we have certainly been there before because since we met. He's out doing his ministry and talking to new people that come. If he's out in the coffee, anywhere this gentleman is. If we're short up on the ushering and we need it, this is a gentleman that shares his Christ, his family, his love of the church, and his hard work. But more than anything else, we would not have had the church directory in the quality and the pictures, and we couldn't get the people down. He kept coming down on his own and doing it. Then people couldn't come down, and Jimmy said, all right, get me a picture. And how he does it, he cropped them into the pictures, people that couldn't get here. So I'm sure Father would like to add a couple of words to it. James, you are not just a wonderful knight, you're a wonderful part of the parish, and this is a dual thing.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think we had words to add to a beautiful introduction. All I know is that we, Jim and I, arrived in this place, Our Lady of Rosary, almost the same year. And I still have difficulty with my English language still now. And I saw Jimmy at the garden crying, and so I came and sat down with him. And boy, he had lots of questions. And well, so far you're still here, probably I answered your questions. And so I thank you for being a gift to us, to our community, for being, I would say, an icon of mercy among us. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jamie, and now you get to stand up here as the co-chairman of these awards. You didn't know you were getting an award, but I'm sorry. Didn't do this very often. We have a gentleman that I first had the contact with him when he was at church. Then his beautiful daughter called me. And then I had the pleasure of talking to Dr. Francesco, Frank, on the phone. And Frank's a little hard of hearing, but we were able to talk and get by. And Frank could hear me, and I could hear his accent a little bit, which was an Italian that I could understand. It wasn't one of the dialects of Sicily. Some of them I know. The Neapolitan dialect, Anthony's been working with me and throws me off. But the doctor's Italian was bellissimo. I could understand the vowels, the consonants, the pronunciation, and we had a great dialogue. We're going to be friends, and we're going to be going to coffee. So, Doctor, would you come forward, please? Our awards chairman would like to have you step over and receive your award. And now, as this fourth degree
Careful with that.
92-year-old gentleman, and I believe you told me you've been a knight for 40 years or 50? 5 years? Or you were back, no. 50, yes. 50 years. And he is now a member of our council. And Father, would you give him a little blessing for coming into this wonderful council? Thank you. And we are an honor to have you amongst us. And you can give me the cross. And there you go. Take your beautiful sword with you. And at one of our functions, bring your beautiful sword for us. Thank you. Our next presentation, my awards chairman will make that.
Chris? Kevin, it's working.
Can you take video? Yeah, just make sure you see the.
You got a real paparazzi working on that now, eh? Professional photographer, an Italian paparazzi.
Yeah, get Chris.
Chris, this is an award that you're actually the guy who inspired these awards. Now, how many people here have been on an organization of some kind in the past? Pretty much just about almost everybody? Well, you know that to make something happen is complicated. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and there are a million moving parts. And that's also the case with the Knights. You know, just doing anything, it doesn't happen automatically. And Chris has been helping us get organized with all of our communications and our websites and all of the e-blasts that have gone out, among a million other things. He's always there. When anything's happening, Chris is there. He's out on Thanksgiving morning in Balboa Park flipping pancakes, or whatever it is we're doing. He's always, always there. And so Chris stands out in my mind as being like an exceptional Knight. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yay, Chris. Yeah.
This is an award that goes to Jason Gloyer. Jason?
I hope I can.
Now, Jason, are you the Deputy Grand Knight? No. No? No. Okay, he's the Financial Secretary. Now, the reason why Jason is getting this award is because he's the guy who really suffers the most, probably of anybody in this group, because he has to deal with the mountain of paperwork that comes in from, like, I don't know where, the Knights of Columbus Central. And I can't believe you were here, like, what, one night for like 6 hours plowing through this paperwork? Oh my goodness, like, that's like purgatory, I swear. So I have a paperwork phobia, and I immediately thought anybody who can deal with that deserves to have a shrine in our council. So thank you very much, Jason, for your sacrifice and your dedication.
Thank you, Jamie. I learned something I forgot it. In my speech in the Othello, and I forgot, they taught us to that, and Jamie has a good stage presence, so I gotta get that. You did a great job. Here's a gentleman that I sometimes feel I kept from moving away as soon as he did. He has been behind the scenes, reads what needs to be done to help me in some of the things I do. Never makes a big deal of it, says, oh, well, I'll just get it done. Take care of the business. Martha tells me you're not spending enough time in the shop. We have coffees at Papalenko once in a while. And I'm trying to get the keys in. I'm a senior citizen. Sometimes I forget what pocket they're in. So Gary had got together with Father and he said, Knight, that's fine. He said, we're going to make it easy for you. We're going to put a combination in all the nights, and that way when they need the key, they can't, you'll have it. So he took care of that. I was having a little problem getting together with the sound system and getting it right. Gary said, Jim, back away. Help get the money, and we'll do it. So he did that. He's been Father's go-to man on a lot of things. I heard that maybe we don't need him going up and down the ladders and stuff quite as much, but that's that another thing. Gary, you've been great. I know you were supposed to have moved a couple of months ago, and you said, well, you got a couple more months, maybe I can stick around and get a few things done. God bless you and sharing your wife with us, and please come up here, buddy, and you know what I think of you, and when we've served together as ushers, and it's just been a great, warm and fuzzy relationship. And being in the Knights together has been great. And Patrice, I know you had a couple of little things at the beginning, says, look, crispy. Has Gary finally gotten it right? I think the sound system is really there now, don't you? Good.
Thank you. I just do whatever they ask. That's all.
Glad I can do it.
Thanks to the sound system, we can now hear the priest from the choir loft. So that's really been great. Choir.
Our last award, to be honest with you, this was going to be basically the award, and then Jamie and I got to talking and mentioning some of the guys and things, and said, you know, you don't always get told that you're appreciated and loved. And Father was very, very instrumental in saying, I think this is great, that when we have the meet and greet, let's share some of that. And he graciously signed it because all of these people serve the parish, not just us. But Paisan, Giuseppe, Venica, hey, Giuseppe, come out here in your nice color guard outfit and get out here for a minute.
Bring the pan out with you. It's all right.
Anybody who makes food like that, Martin will tell you, he guards his recipes and he says, no, I'm using mine. You're going to go down the market and buy the oregano and you're going to buy it, right? No. Jimmy, please. If I'm going to be serving it too, it's got to come out of my garden. I said, come on, Giuseppe. I'm going to get fresh, organic. I'm going to go down to the store. And he says, no, you do your dish. Don't mess with mine. So I go over to his garden, basil, rosemary, all of it fresh. And he's picking it out and he's doing it. He says, I'm from the old country, I'm old Italian. My mother taught me and shared me. If I didn't do it the right way, I don't do it the fake way. I'm not down on India Street. I'm cooking from my home and my heart. He says, we're doing it the right way. We went out to the 4th degree one night and did it, and he did a meal, and they said, and Jerry helped set it up, and they said, man, where did you find that guy? The food was fabulous. We had all the councils come down and meet here. We hosted it. And everybody to the thing says, oh, this is tough. Now, we got to hold it up to that standard at every one of the councils. He has done a wonderful job. And today, I said, well, I've got you got your arm out. I called him a few days ago. He's still in the hospital. And I said, I'm going to bring somebody in and get them. I'll do a couple of things, but I'll hire them. He says, I'll bust to your face. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So he says, we're going to do it. You're going to help me. We'll go shopping together. And that's just one of the things. But what you don't know is his love of God, his service to the community, his service to this parish, and to the needy. And we have identified several people together that needed some love and some help, and a little soul day, and a little lunch and a little food. And Giuseppe and I have worked together. He is now my fratello, my brother, not my uncle anymore. So come on over here, you're my brother. And yes, at my weight, you can move it quickly. I think Jimmy would like to add more because he's going to tell about the wonderful things you've been doing, especially the thing.
Yeah, Giuseppe really blows my mind. When Jerry, he asked how many people want to help, serve breakfast to the homeless or whatever on Thanksgiving morning, and we all kind of, yeah, okay, I'll do it, whatever. Well, we didn't know that we actually had to do everything. We had to bring the food, we had to make the breakfast. It was not a small deal. Well, I didn't really do anything. But Giuseppe, this guy's like a one-man army. I couldn't believe it. I mean, how much time did it take to prepare for that? 2 days in advance? Yeah, but I'm kidding. He had everything. He had the propane, he had all the utensils, he had everything. And he was completely organized. I just couldn't believe it. And he not only did it then, but he's done it again and again and again. And obviously tonight, it's very easy to eat food, but a lot more difficult to prepare. And I think you're the most amazing guy I've ever met. Thank you.
And now, would you all line up? What we're going to do before we break for breakfast.
Yeah, how about now?
Oh, sorry, I need a pillow. Senior citizen lives here. We have a mascarpone, we have a limoncello, we have a dessert, and then we also have a cheesecake. So before you go, we're going to do that. But I would like to close this evening with all this. I'd like to get Denise up here because she does this. You're going to come up and help us do God Bless America. Patricia, you're going to come up and help us do God Bless America. Close up with that, and then we're going to stick around there. And before I do that, I'd like my deputy knight. In June, we're going to be having our installation of officers. And Brian will be coming up as your new Grand Knight. He's a great guy. He's going to be wonderful. And Brian, I'm going to be happy to pass the torch on to you. And yes, we're going to have a nice evening, and we're going to invite our friends to come to that. And we'll have another nice meal, and we have another nice program and a ceremony bringing in our new officers. Brian, how's it feel that you're going to be in the driver's seat pretty soon? Oh, you get done? Very good. Well, then let's all get together. And Jamie, get that great bass voice over here with us. We got to have you in there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Is a wonderful country. I don't care what they say. If you listen to the news, you get discouraged. But if one president can't make or break, with the military and the fellows that we have out there, the first responders, one of the things that Jerry has us hooked up that we're going to be doing is helping the military as they come through. We're raising money for that. I believe we will be going out to the volunteering to go to the airport and meet them pretty soon. And we're going to be setting up. So this parish, and we're going to go out there, and when all of our guys are coming through, active duty servicemen will be there with gift bags and wishing them well and be there for them as Knights of Columbus. Okay, so let's sing God Bless America.
God bless America. Stand beside her and guide her through the life of the life from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America. My home, sweet home. God bless America. My home, sweet home.
Play ball.